There are several different items in SCP Containment Breach. Some of them are basically useless, while some items are OP, like this gas mask that lets you escape almost anything. Adios, abuelo. And so I asked myself, how hard would it be to beat the game with just the essential items? Keycards, on Keter difficulty, and on a randomly generated map, each attempt. It went, well, you'll see. So my first goal in this challenge was to find me a succulent, big, black puddle. The reason for that, of course, is that it teleports you to dark dungeons of a creepy old man. And yes, somehow that is a desirable outcome. Because you see, when you escape these dungeons, you are brought into the mid-game area that is heavy containment zone. And you can quickly get a level 3 or 4 keycard there. The best keycard in the game is a level 5, as it allows you to go anywhere. The puddles can be found in the first room of the run, which means you can very quickly skip a large portion of the game. So on my first few attempts, I kept looking for these puddles, or allowed the old man to catch me and take me to his dungeon himself.
One small issue.
Whenever you get into this dungeon, the pocket dimension, you get injured. And since I cannot use any medkits to heal myself, that injury persists for the duration of my run. You may think to yourself, losing some HP isn't that bad, right? Wrong. This game is sadistic. Even a minor injury limits your sprint and overall speed. And you need to be fast to survive with no items. Which is why eventually, I dumped this tactic. I started playing the game as intended, getting the level 1 keycard, then level 2, and so on. And on my 20th attempt, I actually got to the entrance zone, the last zone in the game. But my only path got permanently blocked by wooden doors. No, I'm not kidding. I got soft-locked by wooden doors. This room can sometimes spawn and obstruct your way in the entrance zone, and the only way through is to use SCP-860, a blue key. Once you use that key, you're taken to a foggy forest, which is basically a maze, and if you don't find the exit door fast enough, you get attacked by this creature, whose image was ruined by the internet. Of course. I played on this map seed, and as you can see, the only exits are here, while the doors are here. And since I can only use keycards in the challenge, not an SCP that is a key, I did what any reasonable person would do. I considered this attempt a failure, and tried again, on a random seed again, where this could happen. Again. Throughout many of my next attempts, I struggled a lot more, mostly because I didn't have a navigator. The navigator item is a very useful tool in the hands of an experienced player. For example, I can tell that this section is the first area of the game, this is the mid area, and this is the final area. Knowing this, I can deduce that any of these 4 rooms can contain one of the 3 SCPs that I need to find to win the game, so I need to head there to make progress. Without a navigator, on the other hand, it's all a guessing game. Not only you have to memorize all the paths, but you also have no clue where you should go. The biggest issue though is that whenever I was chased, I had to backtrack through already explored rooms. Why? Because otherwise I could run into a dead end and get myself killed. That's actually how I died a lot of the times. And yet, in my final attempt, I got myself in a dead end anyway. Now what do I do in this situation? Speaking of my final run, I actually got very lucky with it at some point. One of the most stressful parts of the challenge was getting a level 4 keycard. There are 2 options in the game to get that necessary keycard. You either rely on RNG to get it, or get it from a special section with SCP-049's chamber, which is a dangerous place to be. Since I'm impatient and RNG hates me, SCP-049's chamber was the option I opted for. The thing is, as soon as you go there, the lights go out and SCP-173, the statue, is waiting for you there. Yes, you are stuck in complete darkness with an SCP that demands eye contact. Without night vision goggles, my best survival strategy was to find the backup generator ASAP, switch on the lights, and pray my neck stays intact. Also, There are 2 elevators that lead to this section, and of course in my final run, I chose the wrong one that's farther away from the generator. So now I had to traverse this whole section in complete darkness. And yet, I didn't die. The statue was nowhere to be found. And I decided to roll with it, considering how this game treated me last time. So now with a level 4 keycard, I easily got the level 5 and went into the last zone again. And that's when I started going a little insane. All I want for Christmas is Gate A. All I want for Christmas is Gate A. And why was I hoping for Gate A instead of the other exit, Gate B? Because at Gate A, I wouldn't get shot at. Meanwhile, Gate B is patrolled by a guard and a helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter! But of course, I found Gate B first, and because I was chased, I took the risk. In order to beat the game at Gate B, you have to run this long distance to the doors on the opposite end, while getting shot at. Despite all my experience with this game, I always used an item here that basically gives you infinite stamina. Now I didn't have that, and if I ran out of stamina, I would surely get shot and killed. Quite ironic that my success was now completely dependent on sprint, considering my last challenge. First, I waited for the helicopter to pass, began walking at the start to conserve stamina, and then darted off. I survived, and kept my cool, of course. And all I had to do now was wait for the ending. And now to answer the question from the start of this video. Was this challenge difficult? Well, it definitely wasn't easy, as it took me 58 attempts in a whole week, but it wasn't nearly as hard as the previous no sprint challenge. Not to mention that I could probably beat this one much earlier if it wasn't for a certain something. Anyways, if you want to see full video of me completing the challenge, you can check the link in the description or click here. Thanks for watching and see ya!